Thanks for joining me. Again, my name's Angie Green, and I've been in the fitness industry for almost 20 years. Hi, Lindy. Hi. And I have a home-based fitness business, and I am a wife. I was married in July. I'm a mom of a 13-year-old boy. You're a boy mom. Oh, I love that. I think we have a lot in common, actually. So I'm glad to have you on. So thanks again for being on. I really appreciate it. I was on Facebook Live today and I was talking a little bit about setbacks, because we've all had setbacks in our life, whether it's, weight loss or getting off track on our clean eating or whatever stuff happens in life. But I think the reason why we have setbacks is because we sometimes put too much pressure on ourselves and we overload our schedule. Is that you? I'm sure it is. I see the hearts. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that's probably you. I know it's me. It was me for a really, really long time. I worked full time at a university for 12 years. And during those last 5, I was also starting to build my home-based fitness business. So I was working well over 40 hours a week. I'm also a national fitness presenter, so I was traveling on the weekends doing these trainings, and I'm trying to build my home-based business at night. So I didn't have to work my full-time job anymore. And that was brutal. It was tough, let me tell you. I'm sure some of you may know. I was being pulled in 80 different directions. I was working well over 60 hours a week. I was like chucking M&Ms at my kid to keep him quiet so I could get work done, because I was trying to work really hard on this business. And I carried so much anxiety because of that, and guilt. I had guilt all the time. I think we as parents carry a lot of guilt, and we don't put ourselves first. Things keep getting piled onto our plate, one thing after the next, nodding. And it can lead to health problems. Stress and anxiety is one of the #1 reasons of health problems. And for someone who is learning that she might have a little anxiety and learning how to deal with it, I know that anxiety and guilt go hand in hand. And so I wanted to tell you that you need to start taking care of yourself. So if you are someone who has the personality like me that's like, I can do it all. I'm such a yes person. Hey, would you mind doing this for me? Yeah, sure. Hey, do you think you could pick me up and drive me here? Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, do you think you could take on one more project? Oh, sure, no problem. How do you know what to say no to? That is a great question, Lindy. So I've done some trainings. I've done a lot of personal development over the years just to really try to figure out, because I started becoming miserable and angry. I picked up a lot of meetings this week, and I did a lot of personal favors this week. And in the past, when I've done that, I end up getting mad at myself, like, why did I take on too much? Or I get mad at the people that are asking me for help, and that's not right either. I'm the one who committed. I'm the one who said I would do it. So why am I getting mad at anyone else other than me? So once it started happening in my life, I knew that something was wrong with me. I knew that I needed to try and take care of that and fix myself in that area. So I read personal development. I even started going to therapy, and I just tried to figure out, I don't want to live that life anymore that I can't say no, but I say yes to too much, and then I'm totally overloaded and I'm totally stressed. That's not why I started a home-based business. I started a home-based business because I want to design my life and design my own schedule and be able to do things for other people when I want, when I can, and wanted to focus on my #1 priority, which is my family. So, Lindy, that's the first thing that I did. I made a list. Got a piece of paper? Yep, and I made a list of everything that I had to do. So, full-time job, presenting on the weekends, time devoted to my business, family, church, volunteering for your community, teaching group exercise classes. So I just made a list of everything that I had to do. And I tried to rank that. So my top 3 things, non-negotiable, what are they? Obviously my family comes first. And then, and I kind of ranked the other two things. What are the two most important things? Well, I couldn't quit my full-time job at that time, so that was a priority. And then building my business was my dream, and so that was a priority. And I wasn't willing to take away time from that because that was important. So looking at those three things, then I said, okay, what's everything else that I do? You know, I also volunteer, and I also teach group exercise classes, and I'm involved in this girls' night once a week. And so unfortunately, I had to make some tough decisions. If certain things weren't as important to me as my top three, I tried to remove some items off my plate. Typically, they say once you bring one thing on your plate, you have to remove something else. And when I started my fitness business, my mentor said, you know, you're taking on a big project that's going to consume a lot of your time. What are you going to take off your plate? And I was like, oh, I got this. I'm fine. I don't need to take anything off my plate. Wow, that was not a wise decision. So if it's important enough to you, you will figure out a way to make it work in your schedule, and that means you may need to remove something else from your plate. Now, here's where the kicker comes in. So, okay, you rearrange your schedule. Oh, here's the other thing I did. I made a list from the time I woke up in the morning until the time I went to bed. And so, you know, got up at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30, 6:30, worked out, 6:30, 7:30, got my son up, off, ready for school, 7:30 to 8, I got ready for work, you know, 8 to noon, I went to work, noon to 1 was my lunch hour, I focused on my business, blah, 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 blah. Any free time that I had, I X'd out all the times that were non-negotiable, meaning, you know, I'd like to sleep from midnight to 5 a.m., block that out. I have to work, you know, these hours, block that out. All the non-negotiable times I X'd out. Any open blocks of time is where I filled the holes with my priorities. So try that too. That was really, really helpful. But here's the kicker. So the kicker is, you know, you're figuring out your schedule, you've got your priorities straight, and then people start dropping bombs on you. And this happened to me when I left my full-time job. People started figuring out, oh, she works from home now. Her schedule's more open. She has more free time. So I was getting more phone calls. Hey, do you want to meet for coffee? Hey, do you want to go in for lunch? Hey, would you mind taking me to the car dealer to get my car fixed? Hey, could you run and pick this up for me? Hey, do you want to meet at the gym? And I was always like, yes, 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 sure, I can do that. I can watch your dog. I can do this. I can do that. Yeah, I can take you here. No, I can meet for lunch. And then it just created chaos in my life. So you have to learn to say no, thank you. And the people who are important to you and who know you well will understand that it doesn't align with your priority. What kind of planner do I use, Audrey? I'll show you. This is funny. I used to have like the big book, you know, the big notebook planner, and I wrote in it. I try to use my iPhone because I'm trying to go with the times, but here's what I do. This is April, so I'll show you. Audrey, great question. Here's my whiteboard, and those are 2 months out, okay? So right now up there, I have February and I have March. And then April, starting April 2016, all the way until, I think it's the end of the year, December 2016, I have a sheet of paper for, okay? And then on the back, look at, I've already started, this is every month for 2017. I've already started my 2017 calendar. It's crazy. So here's the first thing I do is I get out my calendar and I put my son's school stuff and sports stuff. That stuff is, again, non-negotiable to me. Any activities that my husband does when he's gone or when he's out of town, that stuff goes on there first. And then, well, I know I'm a huge visual person, so that really, really helps me. Dates where I'm out of town, so like April 7th, I go out to LA to film a fitness video. If I'm going out there for that one. I wrote it down just in case. And that's obviously that day's out. These are, this is our Beachbody quarterly training. On this Saturday, I know that I need to be there. This is my son's karate tournament in Michigan. I have to be there. So, you know, this is a late start at school. Like, I try to plan it out as much as I can in advance. And then not only do I have the whiteboard behind me, but we also have a family calendar out near our kitchen. And so the board behind me is my business board, and the board out there is our family activities board. I take that board and I transfer it onto my business board, because my husband and my son don't need to know my business activities and calls and meetings and things like that. So plan ahead is super, super important. And then I've just learned to take things off my plate by saying no. Again, don't be afraid to say no if it doesn't align with your priorities, or if you know in your gut, like, oh, this isn't the best use of my time right now. So when I was building my business, my girls' night that I had once a week, I was like, you guys, this is really, really important to me, so I'm gonna have to skip girls' night for a while because I really need to focus on this time to build my business. And like I said, your friends will totally understand. And here's a great tip that my mentor gave me. If you do have a hard time saying no and somebody asks you to do something, if you're a yes person, if you're always yes, 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 don't answer them right away. So if somebody says, hey, do you want to do lunch tomorrow? And in your head, you're thinking, I have 8 errands that I need to run during my lunch hour, or, I really need that time to focus on reading personal development or whatever it might be. Instead of saying yes right away, you just have to say, you know what? I need to check my schedule. Let me get back to you on that. And that will give you time to remove yourself from the situation, go home, process it, or talk to somebody else about it. And then it won't feel as weird to you, because then you can just shoot them an email or a text and just say, I'm so sorry, I forgot, or I checked my schedule and I have this amount of time to do this tomorrow and I really need to focus on that. But thank you for the invite. And that's it. Don't let guilt overcome you, so you say, hey, well, I could do this day or this day, because the times I end up doing that, guess what? I triple book myself, and then again, I'm a stress nut. So don't be afraid to just say, hey, let me check and let you know. Let me get back to you on that. And I think that you'll find that you function much smarter that way when you're able to do that. So does that help you guys? I hope it helps you, because I'm still working on that, but it has definitely helped me so far. So get your schedule, plan out your year, make a list of your priorities, make a list of your typical schedule, and put your priorities in there first, X out all non-negotiable times, and don't be afraid to say no, or let me think about it, let me check my schedule, let me get back to you on that. Good, I'm so glad it was helpful. Good. I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you guys for being on. That's it too. And when I was on Facebook Live earlier, I talked about the anxiety and guilt that comes with a setback. If you have a setback like in your workout program or your eating program, and how you can bounce back from that. So you can check that out too on Facebook. I'm Angie Green, number 11, and you can see that as well. So thanks, you guys. I hope you have a good night.